Why does Donald Trump lie so much? Like, I mean, if you just think about it, what's your instinctual reaction? Is it, oh, he lies because he needs to convince people of stuff so that they like him more and think he's a better president, for example, or something like that? I've been thinking about this a lot recently, and sometimes the explanation probably is really simple. He lies because the truth is bad, and he wants to avoid responsibility of acknowledging a truth that is bad for him. And there's some accomplishment he wants to inflate, or he wants to accuse someone else of doing something that he's been caught doing. So sometimes the answer to why Trump lies is kind of straightforward, but then you get to these lies that seem completely unnecessary, that are so obvious that we hear them and we go, does Trump believe this, or does he believe he's convincing people of this stuff? So I'll give you an example. The inauguration crowd was the biggest ever and much bigger than Obama's, going all the way back now to 2017. We have the pictures. We know that the inauguration crowd was not bigger than Obama's. So then what was the point of lying about that? Or another example, Alabama is being threatened by this hurricane. Well, we looked at the weather map, and the weather map says Alabama is not being threatened by the hurricane. So Trump takes a Sharpie and he draws on the map and goes, this is the real hurricane path that we should all believe. Or every election he loses is illegitimate. And even when he wins, like he did in 2024, he goes, in reality, I won California, but it was rigged, or something like that. So why is he telling those lies? I think that there is something else that explains why Donald Trump lies. And this kind of came to me because I've recently, I read a book about lying. I read a book about narcissism, and I also read a book about serial killers. And I'm going to weave this all together. I'm going to do the real weave here. Okay. The ability to say something everyone knows is false, right? Like the ability to start repeating over and over again something that people don't believe. And then you see, damn, people are starting to repeat it. This gives Trump a massive sense of power. Think about how it works. Trump lies. The Republican standing next to Trump knows Trump is lying. And Trump knows that that other Republican knows. And yet, that Republican then goes on TV for the next week, the next month, the next 4 years, and repeats the lie anyway. Think about the amount of power that fills Trump with. Trump isn't getting away with a lie when that happens. He's getting people to participate in the lie. And the question that's implicit in this is, am I so powerful that I can make you publicly reject what you know to be true and accept and parrot my version instead? And what has been shown over and over again is that Republicans are willing to say, yeah, I'm willing to replace what I know to be the truth with what you tell me I'm supposed to say. It reminded me of Trump's Hollywood Access Hollywood tape. When you're a star, they let you grab them by the pussy. They let you do it. And the larger idea here, and serial killers have this, cult leaders have this, the larger idea is rules are for other people. And if you're famous enough or you're powerful enough, the fact that you can get away with it is reason enough to do it. Now, I want to be really clear about this next comparison. I'm talking about a psychological mechanism here. I'm not saying the underlying acts are equivalent. When you read about serial killers, I recently read about this serial killing doctor, Michael Swango. It's an incredible, actually, do I have the book here? Yes, it's actually, I think it's on the shelf. Anyway, I think it's on the shelf behind me somewhere. Is it this red book here? No, it's not. Anyway, I recently finished this book about Dr. Michael Swango, was a serial killer, killed people in his role as a doctor. What sometimes drives the escalation where they go, I'm going to kill more people, I'm going to kill them in more extreme or bizarre ways, is that they got away with it. They know what they did. Nobody else can prove it. Nobody's caught them. And there's this like intoxicating feeling of control. And eventually getting away with the offense or getting away with the lie is the reward, because they go, man, I'm so much smarter than everybody else. I can lie and they just accept it. They don't realize I'm lying to them. Over time, at least with serial killers, they often get sloppier and more brazen and belligerent, and then they get caught. But I wonder whether something similar is happening with Donald Trump's lie, where he gets away with one lie that he sees as good for him. Listen, I don't really think I won in 2020, but I said it, and now everybody's repeating it. So then he tells a bigger and more obvious lie. If the votes had been counted honestly, I would have won all 50 states. He's testing the boundaries. How ridiculous a claim can I make? And despite all the evidence contradicting me, how many people can I convince to start repeating it? Now, this also explains why private loyalty isn't good enough for Trump. It has to be public. And this has caused Trump to butt heads with people where not everybody is willing to publicly go with the BS. A Republican may know perfectly well what they believe in their heart of hearts. Joe Biden won in 2020. That's it. But when you publicly say it was stolen, it proves that loyalty to Trump matters more than the truth. And to some of these Republicans, it matters even more than their personal dignity. The humiliation is kind of part of the test. Trump, in a sense, gets off on, I'm getting these people to say stuff they don't even really believe because they're scared of me, or they know I'll go after them, or I'll primary them, or whatever the hell. Now, I don't think every Trump supporter literally believes. So you both have people who do fall for this stuff and repeat it because they've been convinced, and people who repeat the lies not because they believe it, because they know that that's how you signal that you're on Trump's side. The facts don't have authority over me. And so this is why when you fact check Trump, it's often kind of inadequate because the correction assumes Trump tried to convey accurate information. He's not trying to convey accurate information in general. And he's often actually doing the opposite. He's demonstrating, look at me. I can lie. Everybody can know I'm lying deep down, but they're going to submit anyway. They're going to say that I'm right. And he keeps testing how far can he go with it. So the answer Trump keeps getting from the people who start repeating his lies is, you can go as far as you want, and we are still going to repeat the lie for you. I remember when I was a teenager, there was this girl I worked with, and she was what I would colloquially call a pathological liar. Maybe that's not the right clinical term, but what I experienced was that she would lie unprovoked about stuff that just really didn't make a difference and doesn't change my opinion of her. Like I remember there was once when she goes, my glasses were $550. And this was in the 90s. So at that point, $550 for glasses was even more than it would be today. And it's like, you're 14 and I know that those aren't $550 glasses. What was it about it? She had the sort of personality where a lot of people would just believe these lies. And I think she liked the feeling of power of getting people to believe stuff that she knew she was making up. I don't think she believed the lies. I don't think it was one of those things where she convinced herself of an alternate reality or anything like that. But I've seen this and experienced it personally. One other aspect to this. This is all jacked up like on roids. It's T. They're on T injections, testosterone replacement. What jacks this up is the fact that social media puts us into these completely alternate realities. This I do address in my book. By the way, I have over here, I have even more galley copies of my forthcoming book. We're going to figure out what to do with these. The book is hardcover. Like this original copy behind me is hardcover. These are floppy. They're completely flaccid and flimsy. These aren't even for sale. We're going to figure out something to do with them. But the point here is the way that the social media platforms will reinforce, listen, everything I'm seeing online says the vaccines killed millions of people. It must be true. The platforms are a big part of this. And if you're interested in how that works, please do pre-order my book. Limited number of signed copies available, davidpakman.com/attention. And of course, if you want this specific copy, the one on my shelf, the first ever printed hardcover copy of the book, submit your pre-order receipt to info@davidpakman.com. Book raffle can be the subject. The day the book comes out, I'll dedicate this specific copy to one lucky or unlucky person, depending on how you see it. Appreciate you watching. Stick around for this next video, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you actually see our uploads. You can also catch the full podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.